my friends, and welcome back. Um, Hi. I rescheduled this stream like 4 times, so anyone who is making it at this time, thank you so much, and I'm sorry for the unpredictability. It has been a very busy and confusing is what I meant. Past couple weeks, it's been really hard to coordinate anything well enough. All of my obligations and all the personal hobbies and all the things I like to do for myself keep getting pushed back because I keep doing things for school and stuff. Which is fair. If I'm abroad, I should be taking my education very seriously. But I'm tired. And today, I just want to put aside some time for my Live2D. And I'll be doing so. Today's hydration of today's stream is going to be Pink Melon for Loco. I hope you heard that. That was a crisp open. Oh my god. I haven't tried it before. That was really good. Okay. Yeah, anyways. So where do I even start? I finished the model art a while ago, and I spent about 6 hours setting up the artwork because when you draw a model, it's not ready to rig right away. You have to put everything in all the, you see all of this. Hold on, let me give you a little idea of what's going on here. How does that make you feel? How does this make you feel? You know, let's take a closer look. How does this... How do you think I felt? How do you think I felt when I put all of this together, huh? So, this took 6 hours, split between 2 different 3-hour sessions. The first 3 hours I did in my common area with 2 of my suite mates next to me watching TV, and I was like losing my shit as I started molding. I started like clicking my keyboard very hard. I was just so loud because my fingers, I was losing patience, I was losing gentleness, and I felt so bad. I was just absolutely molding at my keyboard when they were watching TV, and when they went, Princey, can I ask, what are you doing? And then I had to explain the concept of Live2D, hoping neither of them knows what a VTuber is. It's a fun time though. I'm trying my best. So because, oh, and I just undid all of the, that's great. I know a little bit of the information is cut off screen by my general setup, but that's okay. You don't need to understand what I'm doing. This is not a how-to class. This is me doing my thing. I'm here because as I got more and more fed up with what I was doing, I might have cut some corners in my setup. So today I'm here to maybe put a little bit more effort into the setup. Yeah. I'm going to go through piece by piece and see which of them could have... You see, like, this is not ideal, but I don't think it's worthy. I don't think it's, like... I don't think I necessarily have to tighten this up. I should do it just to do it. I should have thought of this before stream. So I'm actually... Oh, that was unnecessary. I am working with a brand new drawing tablet. Well, not brand new, it's refurbished, but it's brand new to me. And I need to update some of the keybinds because I'm used to doing this with my old tablet. And now I'm in a kind of inconvenient position for this. I also don't know what the model tracking is going to look like because of my new drawing position. My old tablet was screenless, and I have officially upgraded to a tablet with a screen, and I'm very happy about that because I wanted a screened tablet for forever. And here I am with a screen tablet. However, screened tablets are inconvenient for face tracking purposes. Like, I have no idea what I've been looking like this whole time, because I'm, like, curled up in a ball at my desk in my chair. Not really making eye contact with the screen. Hold on, let me take a look-see. Yeah, my model looks a little strange right now. But that is A-okay. I'm getting used to this whole new tablet thing I got going on.
I understand.
I'm gonna have to reassign some of the keybinds. Like, I need to have an undo button directly on the screen instead of having one hand extended towards the laptop while I'm shrimped up at my desk with the tablet in my lap. It's very comfortable. It's nice to be able to draw with the tablet in my lap and looking down at it instead of sitting up at my desk or on my belly all the time in my closet when I'm at home and I do closet stuff. So I don't know. It's been a bit of an adjustment, but so far things seem to be going well. I need to get used to. It's just a bit of a learning curve, but you know how it is. You know how it is. So yeah, the purpose of today's stream is to just go through and, with a more relaxed frame of mind, make sure everything is actually set to rig. Because there's going to be things that I forgot while I was molding. There's going to be things that could be refined that I was too tired to refine at the time. There's going to be art meshes that didn't generate perfectly that I am ready to be patient with because I take my craft very seriously. See, this is... I'm going to leave the skulls just because there's a lot of them like that, but... Oops. There's just a lot of, like, deformer tightening that I could be doing. Shoe front, shoe back. Why did I cut this? Like, I'm not quite sure why I cut the shoe this way, but... Or deformed it this way. It's probably fine. Yeah, this is probably fine. But, yeah, so I'm going through... cleaning this. It's very, this isn't entirely all necessary, but for the purpose of, like, I'm trying to make sure that my rigging is as high quality as possible. Like, these details, it's possible to rig without them, and it's possible to do a very good job rigging without them, but I just think I could do better. I think I can do better than I have, so I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm going to be very attentive, and here I am doing little details that really, really don't matter. And I want to bring my rigging up to standard. I want to make it high quality in general. Which, unfortunately, I feel like the biggest issue I have is that my art style is not very standard for VTubers. Unfortunately, my art style is just not in the zeitgeist. So, like, my biggest priority right now is improving my artwork, but I'm in a bit of a slump with that too anyways, which I can get into later when I start actually yapping about my life instead of just what's going on in the right now. But the yapping about life, I guess, is a pretty good place to start when you're a VTuber and you do art stuff instead of games all the time. Good morning. Good morning, Skelly Makes. Hello and welcome. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Time zones are still freaking me out. I keep trying to find the right times to post and stream because right now it's 3 p.m. for me, which is just really inconvenient in general. Why would anyone stream at 3 p.m. unless it was Sunday and they have nothing else to do? And then... Now, potentially, imagine that VTuber's main audience is based in the States, where 3 p.m. could be like 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 8 a.m. Is it 8 a.m. for anyone? Probably PST, but I'm not doing all that math right now. Yeah, on the basis of creativity, though, I feel like I've just been in a huge creative slump. I've done a lot of devised work. I feel like that one's tight enough. I don't think I have to tighten this anymore, do I? Unless the shoe is far more tightened now. I feel like this is... I'll just tighten it a little bit where it needs to be. Yeah, that's enough. That's fine. Is this fine? That's totally fine. I'm gonna check if I need to tighten this bad boy. Not really. Oh, I need to keep that with the shoe in it? Yeah. Excuse me. Okay. So my study abroad program is actually the like actual conservatory that I'm studying in just started 2 weeks ago. Last week of September, first week of October. And most American universities run from late August or early September to early May. ish. And so basically, I have a carrier program that is not actually fully associated with the program I'm doing. The program I'm doing itself is a conservatory, which basically means you sell your soul for theater. But the carrier program I'm with houses you, enrolls you in the school from an external source. So I'm not like directly enrolled with the school. They don't have semester-long study abroad programs. You register with the school and actually, like, you know, find your own housing, make your own meals, everything like that for the full 2 years of the program. Whereas my carrier program takes care of you and is totally responsible for you for just 1 semester, and then they can send you back, and you don't have to be like fully responsible for the 2-year conservatory program. And because it is made to accommodate home universities that require you to come back with like a 15 credit semester's worth of classes, they took care of us for the month of September before the conservatory started. Let me, okay, I don't think this is tightened up too bad. Yep. Oh goodness, a lot of stuff like the hands and stuff I'm not gonna tighten because I need them to be the same on both hands, which they will be if I don't, yeah. I'm gonna see if there's anything I can do about the rings though. 7 a.m. PST, ugh, rip to all of my PST lovelies, my bad. How do I get rid of this dot? Is it just the delete? Yes, my new drawing tablet makes a very inconvenient position for rigging, but that's okay. I will get to changing around the... Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm so tired. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not making any sense. I'm so tired. But because my carrier program took care of me for a month, I had some, not easier, but like less intense hours. It would be like 5 hours absolute tops for 3 or 4 days a week, which is, you know, nothing like the conservatory I'm in now. But there was a lot of devised work in that class, and I was able to kind of work with creativity at my own pace. Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling very creative. I'm not gonna lie, I've not been doing too hot. And when you're a creative and you're in a spot where you're not feeling your best, that makes it very hard to be creative. I've been really struggling with getting back on track, but I haven't really had it in me to make much finished art. Actually, since I've gotten here, I've only made 1 finished drawing, and I did it in an all-nighter because I just knew I wouldn't have the strength to finish it another day. And I haven't really had any more ideas for like full nice paintings since then, and I really want to make full nice paintings. But now is not the time. It's not even just that I'm stressed, it's just that now is not the time for me to be creative, and that really sucks. I want it to be. Like, you know, like all the time is the time for me to be creative, and that's how it was. But I gotta spend some more time, I guess, finding peace and creativity in myself before I can continue. And that's why today I'm here forcing myself to work on Live2D without mauling and giving up and slamming on my keyboard. Oh, what is going on over here? What have I done? Okay, there we go. It's back to normal. Let me take a little sippy of my logo. Northeaster hitting the... What? Nor'easter? Hitting the northeast today, so apparently it's gonna pour like crazy. It feels way earlier than it is. Oh gosh. That's not ideal. That's not... Oh my god, melon. Pink melon. I really like pink melon logo. This is not good news. Oh! Tablet not aligned very well. Giving me a hard time. Oh goodness, that's not a whole lot of points. You know, I don't think this is that bad. Honestly, I don't think the rings will need too many points. But I guess I'm gonna just leave I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna leave these the way they are, and if I end up finding that it won't conform with the finger well enough, I'll add more, but I want to see how powerful this setup will be. So I don't think this gotta go crazy. I don't know. Actually, that was really not a lot. I think I might add some more. No, I don't want to. Oh gosh. It's really not a lot. I wonder if the other ones I did on heavy deformation setting, because these are all the auto-generated ones. I know I went through the hands. I gave the fingers the heaviest deformer dot generation, which is just something you do for smaller parts so that they have a bit more flexibility, and I do intend on giving each individual finger physics. So, I mean, that's my own grave that I've dug. That's on me. Yeah, it looks like this was done on heavy deformation and the other ones weren't. And you know what? That's okay. What is up with some of this generation, though? This is a little strange. I really should have fixed my my keybinds before stream, but you know what? I'm gonna leave it like this. It's fine. Doing some devised work in those less intense classes helped me bring a lot of my creativity back, but strangely enough, the creativity that I got back was in writing. Because I was like writing monologues to perform every class. And that was honestly really exciting because I used to love creative writing as a kid. Like, that was genuinely just one of my hobbies. How do I just delete one singular? I don't want to have to use my keyboard every time I want to delete a single dot. Okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to suck it up. That's what I'm gonna do. I used to love creative writing as a kid. Like, I would wake up at 5 a.m. before school to write short stories on the clunky, slow home computer, because that's all I had at the time. I loved writing, and then I received a little too much critique once when I was 11 by, like, a friend who's the same age as me, and I was so, like, frustrated because I'd never received critique before, and the critique was much needed. Very, very well necessary. Had to be knocked down a peg or two. But I haven't really spent a lot of time, like, focusing on writing in a while. So I think it's really cool that I've been able to explore that in a theatrical sense, with theater being, like, my #1 big special hobby. You know how it is. This formation is a little weird. What's going on over here? What's going on over here? This is a really weird generation. Not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, this is much better. Sorry for any background noise. I do in fact live in an apartment. Have I told you guys I live in an apartment in Dublin? Have I told you, by the way? I wonder how many more times I'm gonna tell you. It's not a real apartment. It's it's an accommodation provided by my study abroad program, which is fantastic, and I actually love it. It's the nicest dorm I've ever been in terms of college, and probably the nicest apartment I'll live in for a very, very long time if I do move to a city eventually. It's very nice. I'm very, very fortunate. I've loved living in Dublin so far, and having access to so much creativity. And having specific guides. Like, the thing that's different about having a study abroad carrier program from having applied directly to the school is that I have access to resources that would be available to people, but that I wouldn't have known how to access had I not specifically been enrolled in a program that's, like, built to hold your hand through the living in a whole other country process, and I'm so, so grateful for that. It was deeply necessary for me. Let me take a look. Let me take a look-see. I'm gonna leave this. Yeah, I don't think that needs a whole lot of... I already tightened this one, it seems. I'm gonna tighten the insides, because I think I only pulled in the outside. Excuse me. It's nice to get that inspiration back. Yeah, it is. I feel scared that I'm towing, like, I haven't really been able to get myself to draw anything big and grand lately. On the plane ride here, I actually, like, even before I started writing monologues and stuff, and I feel like I've written some really, really good pieces since then that really mean a lot to me. Interestingly enough, at first I was like, man, this sucks, and I didn't even, like, proofread it. I would just come into school and do it, and I'm like, okay, well, I did the work. Is it good work? No, but I completed it for class. And since then, I've written two really, really important ones to me, like, deeply important, that I feel proud of the writing and such. Um, right before I arrived, though, on the plane, I hand wrote a fan fiction in a composition notebook because it was a 6-hour plane ride, and it inspired a drawing that I was ready to make. I made a sketch. I hand drew a sketch in the same notebook, and I was going to trace it and register it, or what's the word? Render it digitally. But I just never got around to it because I had such a hard time settling in, and I had a hard time with all the technology because the wattage of outlets, strange thing that, like, you know, this is one of those little things you don't think about in culture shock. The wattage of the outlets is so different. Like, you can't use American extension cords or surge protectors. I blew out so many breakers trying to use my surge protector until eventually I was just like, okay, I have to get a couple extra outlet adapters because I can't use the whole American and that was really embarrassing for me. I've really gotten in quite a bit of trouble. Why did I copy these buttons without tightening? This is so... I should have just tightened them. I'm actually so mad at myself, I'm not even gonna fix that right now. I'll deal with that at a later date. If I want to, but I might, you know, today's goal is to not mold, so I do have, like, a drawing sketched, but I don't have it in me anymore. Like, I'm not passionate about the subject of it anymore enough to render it as beautifully as I would have wanted to. It's a nice sketch, though. I'm glad I did it. I like having the sketch around, and I like looking at it, but, like, I can't find my interests now. My interests are a bit more conceptual, and that would be because I've written so many beautiful monologues. It's an art that I can't replicate visually. And I keep wanting to. I keep wanting to make art that goes along with my monologues, but it's just not coming to me because what I want to portray is either meant to be spoken or meant to be interpreted. So I'm trying to find that again in myself, and I'll definitely be able to continue trying, like, on my art improvement journey, but I need to find the right reason to first. And I am still working on stuff that I'm, like, making myself do specifically for the purpose of art is important to me, and I want to continue working on it and getting better. Such as, I have 2 more models planned to draw, but right now, just on account of everything that has been going on in my life, I'd rather focus on just beginning the rigging process of this one I already have done. I'm not even gonna have the energy to, like, fix any of the art should I notice anything needs to be fixed this stream, but I will take notes if I notice any textures need to be adjusted, that I will finish and fix up the artwork later. Ignore that. Gotta do some deep breathing every once in a while. It's a little stressful. But yeah. So I just gotta, and I know I'll find my creativity again. Just stuff has been really, really hard, so a lot of blockages. A lot of people are like, wow, it must be so hard living in a new country, and I feel like that's not even the issue. There's just so much going on, and I'm finding myself. And that's what everyone told me. Everyone was like, your entire life will completely change. You'll get so many new experiences. It'll open your eyes to what the world could be. And I am seeing that, but I feel like that's something, it's not comparable to moving from a suburb in Connecticut to studying right outside New York City. I feel like being around New York City helped me adjust, so it's much less insane that now when I'm in Dublin, like, it just doesn't feel that crazy. I'm sure living, like, if I moved to Russia or something, it would be very, very different. Would feel very, very different about the culture shock of it all, but honestly, the biggest thing is that being so alone and so far from everything I know has forced me to look inside myself, and that is in no short part due to the life experience I've had here. Like, experiences I've had here that I could have had anywhere, and it just takes change of mindset. It takes being an adult. It takes a lot of introspection. It takes loneliness. It takes realizing that you didn't like going to the club as much as you thought you would. It takes meeting new people that you like absolutely adore and feel so connected to and know you'll only have for a couple more months. And overall, I'm very fortunate because I'm under a very unique circumstance where I have some very close people to me. I'm very lucky that by complete coincidence, some of my closest friends are also here with me and have done so much to support me as I've been going through a lot of things, in line with I'm in another country, I should be getting used to the world around me and exploring things and having new experiences. At the same time, I'm going through a lot, which is why my creativity is not in the best place right now. But I'm absolutely doing my best to stay afloat. I'm doing my best. There's been a lot of thought of going home. I check the flight prices to Connecticut pretty frequently, but it doesn't matter. I can't get the tuition cost back, so I just objectively, physically cannot afford to fly back home. Even if I could afford the ticket, I'm in $18,000 more of debt than I was before coming here, and I can't afford to just completely lose that under all circumstances. So I'm here and I'm gonna tough it out. It's more like it feels like it just wasn't my time, It just wasn't the time that I was meant to study abroad. I should have come another time. It feels like it was a mistake to come here, but I'm here now. And living in a city is way better than living in the suburbs. So here I am. Here I am, Dublin. And I'm gonna keep doing theater even if it makes me $0 in return.
Took a big break from some of my hobbies when I moved to college and got into other things. I allowed myself to take a break and it came back stronger than ever this past summer.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice to hear. That's actually exactly what happened to me with drawing. I went way overboard in freshman year of high school. I was drawing about 100 pieces a month, which is about 3 pieces a day. And I just completely killed all of my passion for drawing, even though I built up most of the skill I have today that way. And I couldn't draw for years of enjoyment. I could draw because I wanted to bring certain ideas to life, but I just didn't feel passionate about drawing. I thought I hated it forever, And then, 4 years later, in my freshman year of college, I picked it up again, and it's just still such a big part of my heart and soul. No matter how hard I try, I can't get rid of drawing. And it's weird in this way. I'm so equally passionate about drawing and theater. In my heart, I'm like, I know that I'm so passionate about them, I can't have them both at the same time. I just can't handle that because I am so in love with both of them. But I also don't know what I can do to balance them because I can't live with just one or the other. I need the passion I have for them to be alive and to stay this way. So I don't know how I'm going to end up balancing them, because if I'm having a hard time where I am and I lose what I have for art, I wanted to be able to invest the free time I have this semester into art, and I suppose that's what I'm doing now, even though I had to reschedule the stream literally 4 different times. I'm doing it now. And this is time that I set aside for myself in the way that streaming is a commitment I hold myself to. I am trying so hard to make time for drawing, even though I want now to be my time to flourish in the world. That includes nurturing my passions, and I'm going to try so hard to balance all the things I want to do with all the art I want to create. And I need to take a little break from my current position because it's hurting my throat to talk. What the goop is going on here? This is me. This is me working on a Live2D model where I am gooping it up. I am, in fact, gooping up the model. That's what's going on here. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, let me explain while I take a break from my position. What is happening that you are looking at right now. So, generating deformer dots is what allows the texture to move, because, if I didn't generate the dots, all I would be able to do... excuse me, hold on, I gotta drink some water. Excuse me. If I didn't generate the dots, I could only move it as a full texture, but having the dots allows it to be warped like this via dot. So, tightening up these dots gives you better control over it, there's this difficult choice I have to make. When you auto-generate them, you can choose between little, medium, and heavy settings, and the heavier you make it, the more dots there are, but that also is like insanely difficult for a laptop to handle. So I typically do everything on medium, and then I go through, and smaller things that require more detail or higher physics settings, I'll put those on a heavier setting so that I have better control. And then for certain things like this upper arm here, they're gonna have to settle for medium settings because they require less wavy, you know? Oh my gosh, my desk is a little bit limiting the space, especially with all the cables I have and all the non-cable management I have going on. Because having a screened tablet has 5 cables. Are you aware that a screened tablet requires 5 locations of output with wires? So I got a whole lot going on my desk right now. It looks like a hot mess, even though I keep my space typically very, very, very organized. I'm an organized man. I already tightened this one up as much as I care to. Back of jacket collar. Let me give that back. I already tightened that up too. Good job, previous Princey. Back of shirt collar. Nicely tightened. That'll do. That'll do, don't care. I believe this one's also tightened. Yup. This is not tightened. Here we go. So today, because I started molding last time I tried to set up this art, and the whole setup process took 6 hours total. I'm not happy with what I did because I was just so angry I started cutting corners. So right now I'm tightening everything up more than I did previously. Gotta give it better control, and I refuse to cut too... I mean, Live2D is about working smarter, not harder, so a couple corners will end up being not necessarily cut, but trimmed a little. And that's the attention to detail that comes with working smarter, but not harder. I care about, you know, as I said, the attention to detail. That's an important part of higher quality rigging. And that's why rigging is so expensive, especially, and I hate to say it, my rigging is very, very expensive. What is going on here? Why is this on a heavy setting? Hold on, I'm gonna try and regenerate this, but on a medium. Yeah, there was absolutely no reason for that to be built on a heavy setting. Yeah, absolutely no reason for that. I don't even think I'm gonna tighten it up because it's just a shadow. I will tighten up though those 4 blue dots that are out of place. There we go. Hold on, what am I looking at right now? What am I looking at right now? I don't really know what's going on here, but I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna move on. So, just making these a little more exact, cutting them down to size for the texture that they are assigned to. They don't have to be particularly perfect. I just need them to be a little bit closer to work with. I'm gonna have to put the deformer that these are in, gotta be expanded upward of, oh, not like that. Oh, just straight up limiting. Why was that? I wonder why that deformer was so small. Anyways, who knows? I probably cut it down before including, like, I probably found another piece to put in that deformer and didn't update it. And that's exactly what the stream is for. The stream is for catching little mistakes like that I made in the creation process, because when I was just zooming through, it was 2 3-hour sessions. The first one occurring in my common area where I started molding, and the second one occurring at midnight, during an all-nighter that I pulled, the same one where I made that last painting of mine. So I missed a lot of things, and I knew that I was going to have to revisit it, so that's what I'm doing right now. And, like, the whole purpose is to revisit it. Because sometimes you can only do so much in one sitting when you just want to get it over with, and you accept that that means coming back to refine when you're in a better place.
Princer, I need to get up, but have a good stream. Thank you so much. I will. Oh my goodness.
You have second Thanksgiving today. I forget in Canada it's different. And I won't even have a Thanksgiving this year because I'm in Ireland where we don't have to celebrate that. I am not a fan of Thanksgiving in the States either. It's just not for me. Okay, all of this chain stuff I generated already on a heavy setting so that I wouldn't have to do it by hand. Typically something like this I would do by hand, but the auto generation looks fine. I don't see an issue with this. I mean, it's not like perfectly spaced out, which I would do a better job of by hand, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not in a good enough space to be redoing this, because typically I'm like, you know, no details left behind. But this looks fine. It looks like I'll be able to animate the physics just fine. Let me give this a good old once over. It would be better for me to do it by hand, but I think I might hold off for now. If I decide that it's necessary later on, I'll do it, but like, it seems to have fine motion right now. There's definitely things that I will cut down on my own time. But right now, that looks fine. Like, for example, one thing that I absolutely have to do by hand, that I always will, and will never cheap out on, is the eyelashes. However, this sucks, because this is a contradiction. This specific model, I cannot do the eyelashes by hand, because... oh wait, hold on. The eyelashes I might be able to do by hand. It's just the irises that are... Never mind. So for example, on the model that you're watching me move around in right now, the orange and brown eyelashes couldn't be done by hand because they needed to be done symmetrically, which means all of the physics and everything had to be rigged under the same deformers to make sure that it would look the same on both eyes. I'm not sure how to explain this. This is gonna make no sense, but I couldn't individually like hand assign their deformer dots because I wouldn't be able to get it perfectly the same on both different colored textures, so they wouldn't look the same even if I rigged them under the same deformers. So I just had to go with like the heaviest setting of deformer dot generation and hope that it would work. And I mean, like, I feel like it worked. I think this is fine. Okay, now this is something that I will do by hand. Not this specific... I'm gonna adjust this, but I'm not gonna do this by hand. The bow tie, the actual physics part of the bow tie, I am gonna do by hand, because that is something compact enough and worthy of doing by hand. But you're gonna see just exactly why Live2D costs so much money when you order them, when you like commission a custom model. Because this is no easy feat. You're gonna see why it takes patience. You're gonna see why Live2D is really super duper seriously not for everyone. And I'm fortunate that being an artist in general has afforded me the skill of patience in this instance. Let me tighten these bad boys up. Everyone always tells me like patience is a virtue, and it's I'm so patient for drawing. Drawing takes so much patience. I don't know. I don't feel like a particularly patient person, you know? So I have no idea. I have no idea how I make it work. But I make it work, don't I? Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold. Bound to happen when you move to a new country. This would be easier if I zoomed in, but this texture is a bit long, so I don't feel like it. I'll zoom in on the smaller bits, because there's a couple more physics bits associated with this ribbon. I forget what I was talking about. I did not take my stimulants today. But yes, I'm very glad that I'm an artist and that it has given me the skill of patience for creative tasks, because I appreciate art a lot. I think it is such an important skill for members of any generation to have. It's beautiful. I'm sure that the thing is about patience is, like, for me, this is so satisfying, but I bet it's quite boring to witness. That's why I know, and I'm grateful to be background noise as opposed to, like, a high focus streamer, and I mean, that's what I'm all about. As I just said, I did not take my stimulants today. I can't pay attention to shit. But that's what I'm up to now. I'm doing my thing. There's like a weird threshold, because I don't feel patient. I get bored so easily. My attention span is incredibly short, but this to me is my heart and soul. My art is my heart and soul. I am art. Which sounds pretentious as hell, but that's just my vibe. Give me more alcohol. Oh. Okay, now that it's all connected, watch this. I can auto-connect it. That's fire, isn't it? Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, and that is why Live2D costs so much money. It's not the only reason Live2D costs so much money, but this is one step in a... Listen, if any level of prep, like, I haven't even begun rigging. You have to understand, I have not begun rigging. None of this is rigging. This is all art prep. So on top of the multi-days worth of straight hours I spent drawing, and how I am now presently on hour 7 of art prep, this only scratches the surface of why Live2D costs so much money. So go to your local rigger and give them a fat old pat on the back, alright? They really, really deserve it. And now I can zoom in, which will make it much easier. Sorry, I was going really slow because I was so far zoomed out, but now this is going to be a little easier from now on. I really want to play more games, though. I would love to play more games. I do think my next stream, I might schedule my next stream as a Minecraft. I don't know. I want to stream a little bit of the rigging at least. I don't think I will stream most of the rigging for this model, but I do want to stream at least a little bit of the rigging process. So, depending on how I'm feeling about rigging this model once I'm done prepping it, which might not even be finished this stream. Like, this is a high maintenance hobby and craft in general, so I might not even finish this stream, and if that's the case, that's the case. You know how it is. But, you know what? I want to stream at least a little bit of the rigging, and I would love if I could do that sooner rather than later. Yeah. This bad boy. There's something on, yeah, this one's not super centered. Okay. But I do want to get back to my Minecraft world also as my next gaming stream. But I would like to do some story-based games again soon. I want to continue Zero Escape with Fernie. And also, I got this cool indie game I found on Instagram called Until Then. And that I really, really want to, start that at some point. Because I've really missed story-based games. I have not played any in a very long time, and I haven't streamed any, mostly because I'm scared that the gameplay aspects will be too difficult for me, because let's keep it real, I'm really not good at video games. I just like the story. I just like the stories. Storytelling masterpieces. So I really want to play Until Then. It looks so fantastic. Hey, remember the one time you spent 50 minutes in pressure finding the blue shiny keycard? Get out! Get out of my chat! You are so disrespectful! That's fucking rude! I'm just kidding. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining me today on Alive. Thank you. So, I mean, I guess it's a fitting point for you to remind me of that instance as I'm explaining how I'm scared of trying games on stream because I'm just objectively bad at video games. You know what? You get a pass because I feel like this is a valid and a themic time to reference that occurrence. The fact that you remembered to remind me of it was quite diabolical, but also, the second I saw your screen name, Unalive, I already knew. I saw your screen name and I was like, I know what you're about to say to me. You're making so much fun of me that stream, and I'll remember that forever, Unalive. But welcome, and thank you so much for joining me, genuinely. It's good to see you in chat again. So yeah, I'd definitely love to try out playing Until Then on stream sometime soon, and I did, you know, buy it. I would like if I could get up off my ass and stop crying like a baby and actually play it. So that's on the agenda eventually. There we go. Beautiful. When I rig the physics on the bow tie bit, though, I might honestly have to put both parts of the loop in the same deformer, because I don't think the physics are gonna. Yeah, I don't think I'm liking the yeah, I don't think I'm liking the green bit. No. I also think I need to space out these dots a little bit more. ER. Okay, so that's what today's stream is for. Here we are. This is going to be ribbon loop physics. Here we are. I don't want to be like, all these little things don't matter, like, I'm just doing it to be better at my job. But, like, genuinely, it does get to a point. These little things matter. It would be nice to do things more simply. And it's fair to be like, this is enough deformer dots on this little chunk of square here. I'm probably going to give it some more later on if I feel like I can't rig the perspective right. And this level of simplicity in the dots, actually I am going to make it a little more, you know, this level of simplicity in the dots is absolutely riggable for other textures, including ones that have physics, but it could just be so much more. Like, it's something so small, but it's a small thing that takes hours to improve upon that could just absolutely boost your capabilities and your physics complexity. And you never think it, because it's exhausting. It sucks so much to place all of, like, I've had people be like, did you put all of those? The answer is typically no. I just edited the ones that were auto-generated, except on the most important ones, like the eyelashes. Yes, I hand placed them all, and it's because I hate myself. I did that to myself. Okay, what next? Yeah, this only needs a little bit of tightening. I'm not gonna go too crazy. Percy with 2 seconds of dysmorphia. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Gonna have another swig. I apologize for my disgusting drinking noises. Apologies. Where to? Okay. Yeah, this one just needs a bit of tightening. I do think... Yes, okay. I am going to give these collar bits a little bit of physics, which I am excited to do. It's so little, but all these little things, like the physics on this is going to be really subtle, because when you turn your body, your collar isn't going to be flapping all over the place, but just a little itty bit of augmentation, like, float up and down
ever so slightly, it would be so subtle, but it just adds so much life to the model. And it sucks because it's not adding little subtle things that makes good rigging, and it's not adding little subtle things that makes expensive rigging or profitable rigging in any way. But I want to bring it together and make a model worth more than mine are right now, honestly, in general. And the hard thing about rigging is people aren't paying attention to these little things, at least like non-artists who just like viewing the hot anime girls aren't really going to be like, oh wow, watch how the collar wiggles in the wind. But it's definitely, it's really interesting. It's really interesting to see a model made with so much love and care, and model rigging is one of the most intimate forms of love for art and for character design in general that can be done, because it's such a serious, difficult, intense craft, truly. There's just nothing quite like the hours that it takes to create something so complex. There's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I've made models for my friends' birthdays, and it's so, you get so intimately aware of the model. You spend, oh, oopsie, that's not what I meant to do. You spend so much time familiarizing yourself with the form and how you want it to move, which absolutely can sound really, how do you say this? It can sound really intimidating. Like, that sounds scary. Can you imagine someone staring at your face for hours trying to figure out how to get it to talk normally? That sounds scary, but, like, truly it is such a, just a beautifully unique and personal art form. Which, obviously, when you pay someone to do it, it doesn't mean anything. When you do it for yourself, it is like, this is just the most... I feel in tune with my artistry when I am doing something so intense and special and important to me. It is one of my deepest acts of love to my designs, to myself, to my skills that I value and love. I forget where I started with this little monologue of mine. Bless you with 5 seconds of self-assurance. Thank you very much, Unalive. They are many appreciated. This model is going to be a huge challenge, honestly. Because I've set myself up for so many itty-bitty details that are going to go unnoticed. But on like a technical art level, I hope that it is worth something at all. I've considered, like, I don't know if I want to put this up for sale afterwards, because on the one hand, I like genuinely sincerely doubt anyone will buy it, not out of anything related to like self-deprecation, but like not out of anything related to self. I'm actually trying to figure out, I don't know if it's appropriate to hand edit I think I'm gonna have to and just make it work somehow. Not in terms of self-deprecation, but I just understand, like, selling art and selling models is really, really super not easy. So, I've considered putting this guy up for sale because I don't intend on using him, you know, I have no IP for him. He's just a guy that I made for this specific purpose, actually. And on the other hand, I am so, like, intimately in tune with him because I spent time doing this not for a client, but for myself, to improve my art. But I don't have any use for him. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, if I'm just going to keep him with me, or, you know, if someone was like, I want this guy for $3,000, that is not an offer I would be able to refuse. So, you know, maybe he's just tentatively for sale. I did the lineup for these dots very unevenly, but I think it'll still be fine. I think this is still appropriate. Huh. Where am I? Oh, I don't know. How did I miss a line? That's weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shift these over just a tad. Just a pinch. Meow. Sorry, I just had to let out some noises. I'm sure you understand. Yay! Okay, I'll hand edit these tassels, and I'm sure they will physics together just fine. This is much less intense than like eyelash physics really do have to have that attention to symmetry and all that. Whereas I think the tassels, if the shadow is just a hint, like even just slightly different, which is, and it's not going to be that different because even if the dots are differently placed, they're under the same deformer, but also they're larger and have less attention to detail on them. I think this is still going to be appropriate. I'd rather have them with a wider range of motion than be like perfectly in tune. Like this is one of those things where it's just, you know, it's just a parameter of acceptable, you know, it comes with the territory.
Big fishy eats small cat that was hiding behind a cabinet instead of inside it.
You could torture me with my pressure fails forever, and I feel absolutely nothing. Because you know what? I love myself, and I'm super duper awesome, and I will play pressure while inebriated again in the future. That is not gonna stop doing that. Drunk pressure is truly a special experience. Meow. I wish I'd calculated how many hours total I've spent on this model so far, because it's been a lot. I remember, like, I've rigged models in 3-ish days before, when I was less skilled, so it took less attention to detail. And I've drawn models in, like, under 3 hours, you know? Oops. I've drawn models in ridiculously small amounts of time. So, is this, huh? Why was this so long? Why was that so long? Weird. Okay. Guess it was just very poor attention to detail. Oh, shoulder pad has absolutely no reason to be this dramatic. Right? I do think it should have another path up here. This would be appropriate, yeah. Oops. I know I didn't stream all of it because I was just not feeling, I was not feeling like the streaming was helping me stay focused on the rigging like I wanted it to. Like, the purpose of streaming was to keep myself on track and keep myself actively rigging, and that just wasn't really the right move for me. So I stopped recording, but not recording the last of my drawing means I've lost count of, like, 10 plus hours of drawing, so I have no idea now. But I do know at the very least that the setup has now taken 7-ish hours, which is a lot. But my models I used to be able to bang out, like, a really, really simple model. Like, I banged out a really simple model in under a day, specifically for a class project, so it didn't have to be particularly impressive. And it wasn't. And I cut so many corners explicitly because I could. So I did. Also, this sucks. I have to, I'm gonna restart it. Yeah, I'm gonna start this from scratch, because that sucked. But now that my models take a lot of attention to detail, it takes a lot of time. And that sucks because a lot of time does not a good model make. But the thing is, I know little details are appreciated because there are people, like, I've always done eyelash bouncing physics. That's just always been a part of my craft. But, you know, like, I've seen people get very, very excited over seeing little eyelash bounce physics. And I'm like, yes, something that I've always done is appreciated by the masses. So who knows? Maybe as I just keep working on my art. Like, the thing is, good models start with good quality rigging, and I could be really good at physics and special little Easter eggs. I could be really good at eyelash bouncing physics. I could add 5 million free animations on the side, and that wouldn't make me a good rigger. None of that would make me a good rigger, because I still struggle with something like head XY movement. My model's motion is still limited, and my artwork is still not up to industry standard, which sucks, because I put a lot of time and effort and energy into learning this very, very sensitive and special art form. So it's just gonna take a lot of time. I do have 2 more models lined up right now that I want to work on eventually. So, you know, I'm getting there. Okay, now let's see how much more I can tighten this bad boy up. Oh yeah. Excuse me for still sounding absolutely disgusting. Getting over a nasty, nasty cold. Okay, the hair I'm gonna save for later because the hair is like, that's gonna be the most intense part to fix. And that's the part that honestly might cause me to like have to end stream. Because the hair is gonna be the hardest to edit. It's gonna be so, first of all, I have probably like just under 100 layers of hair. Gonna keep it real. So, hold on, let me take another swig. But yeah, the hair will be very time consuming. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I have to like specifically schedule another stream for the hair. And even then, I probably will start molding halfway through. So we're gonna see. Okay. I'm gonna move on past this hair. Okay, I already tightened that up. Thank you, past me. Okay. These won't be doing a whole lot of deformer work, so they don't have to have... These are going to be, like, mostly rotation-based physics. And the difference between rotation-based physics and deformer-based physics is that deformer dots are only needed for deformer-based physics. With rotation, you can't deform it anywhere after a rotation deformer. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm so nasty right now! Gross! I'm gross. Oh my god. Meow. Oops. Oh wow, what happened here? Interesting. Okay. That's cool. I like that. This is cool. I have no idea how much these are going to need to be tightened, though. I don't know if I intend on rotating them at all, or just... Or, I mean, like, pushing them... If I move them squishy side to side to show, like, a rotation from... I don't know how to illustrate my point. Hold on, let me try it. I don't know if I'm going to want to, like, make them look as if they've turned. or if I just want them to, like, I know realistically, I would love to give them a little bit of more motion, but I don't know if that's necessary rigging wise. And for the earring chain, this is something I want to do by hand. Gonna give this a bit more. I have no idea if those extra dots were necessary, and in all likelihood, probably not. But I just felt a little uncomfortable with the idea that there was only one center point. Like, that's just kind of lame, so... Silly. And there's no reason for this ear to have so few... Come on! Hold on, I'm gonna give it heavy deformation. No! That sucks! I don't want to do it by hand either, though. Okay, fine, I guess. This music is giving me, like, 2020 flashbacks, like, fully. I used to sit in my little closet bed, because I sleep in my closet. Surprise, for those of you who don't know that part of my lore. I used to sleep in my closet. I mean, I still do, I'm just not at home right now, so I sleep in a real bed at my epic college dorm. Let me... Over here. Auto connect. There we go. That looks so strange. I really don't like looking at that. I've never done deformer dots like that. I don't like that. Okay. The face skin. I don't feel like tackling the face stuff right now, because it's kind of just like... Like, there's only so much I can do on that front. Yeah. Okay. A lot more to go, but I've done a lot already. Look at that. I'm proud of me. Okay. I believe I've already... It looks like I've hand done the lashes. If not, that one was very well generated, but... Yeah, it looks like they just... Wait, hold on. Did I do these by hand? I think I did them by hand. Good job, past me. I'm so proud of myself. This one I definitely did not. Yeah. But I don't think the lashes will be different colors, so I actually can do them by hand, which is nice. The lashes are my favorite to do by hand. It's just the most satisfying. I was talking about something, but I can't remember what. I was talking about something related to the fact that I sleep in my closet, which is awesome, and I love sleeping in my closet. Oh yeah. And during 2020, in lockdown, when I felt nice being kind of isolated. Like, I didn't feel nice being isolated all the time, because it was COVID, and that was terrible. But, like, late at night, and my sleep schedule was totally cooked during COVID, because I had a really hard time managing my homework when I didn't have, like, a class schedule to follow. So I would stay up really, really late, and then at night, it would just be me in my room in my closet, and I would listen to lo-fi when I went to sleep. And it's not something I miss about COVID. I'm glad that I'm no longer in that era of my life. I don't know how to illustrate what I mean, but I'm sure some of you get it. It was just like, there is nothing that I'll ever experience like that positive form of isolation again. Because it's nice to just have, to just be with myself at night. And I've experienced that a couple times since then. Like, once this past year, I really liked my college dorm this past year. It was so alone, but there was a highway outside. So sometimes I would wake up at 3 a.m. and there would just be like one car a minute, which is a lot less than it sounds like, and I would just hear it pass by and watch the lights pass by. And it was quiet. It was very far away. I would watch the highway in the distance, and it was like quiet for once, because during the day it's always beeping outside my window. So it was really nice at night. I would just look out the window and it would just be me, and every once in a while a car. And I would listen to lo-fi then too. So lo-fi is a very comforting form of isolation for me. It's not dangerous and I'm not alone. I'm just finally at peace with myself alone. That's nice. I didn't like start. I'm a righty. I didn't like starting that time. It started from the right, so my hand was covering what I was doing and I couldn't see the distance of my deformer dots, but it turns out it looks like I did a pretty good job keeping the distance consistent, so awesome job, me. I'm really killing it right now. It looks like I'm sleeping because of my new... Now that I can look at the screen on my tablet, I'm not staring up at the laptop. So I'm sorry it looks like I'm sleeping, but this is me doing my thing. And I hope it's not so bad that now that I've run out of yaps to yap. It's just some relaxing working time where I'm not malding. It's not the most fascinating to watch me just work and not say anything, but you know what? Sometimes in life you gotta do a calm stream that doesn't make you want to rip out your hair. I wish it was more socially acceptable to just stream the workflow. No pressure to talk. And I love talking. I don't feel pressure to talk all the time, although it is a skill that one should be building up as a streamer. I don't know. I hope it's okay to just stream my work process. And I do kind of want it not to be an educational resource, because I'm not in the business of teaching people how to rig. I'm not good enough for that yet. But I don't know. It could be helpful to watch someone else's process and you know, like a speed paint, although it's not speedy. I think it could be helpful to have a good chunk of work process available as a resource in some way. these ones, I want to keep the irises with the same deformer dots because they have to fall under the same physics deformer. But this isn't enough dots even on the heavy settings, so I feel like I do have to edit them, unfortunately, which sucks because they won't be very consistent, but there are some sacrifices that have to be made to have it generally be a better product. And I think I think the iris physics, there is an acceptable parameter of imperfection that it's still gonna, the iris is jiggling a little bit when the eye opens. It looks fantastic, and I don't feel like that will be inhibited too much by the exact colors not matching up, especially with heterochromia. I feel like not that it would be like perfectly fitting, so to speak, but I feel like this is appropriate. Okay, I have to fix this other one now. Excuse me. One more logo. I might have done this by hand. But not enough. No. This is so weird. A lot of it looks like I did it by hand because this is the general, like, composition that I would do. This offers one of the more diverse amounts of deformation. But I know I would not have only had one path. Typically, I would put 3 paths in the middle and then the outside bordering ones. So I'm kind of impressed that the default generation offered such a nicely done, could have almost been Princey's handmade, because unfortunately, yes, I have to toot my own horn. I would be better at doing this than the computer. It's just that I don't have the patience for that. To do every single one by hand. And if I had to, I absolutely would for the sake of delivering a higher quality product, but I don't know, I was just very impressed that the computer did that. Because typically, to be totally fair and realistic, that's not how it auto-generates all the time. Yay. Scary, isn't it? I don't like how this looks. Okay. I don't know if changing around the deformer dots is going to mess up what I already have it rigged at, but if it does, that's a bridge I can cross at a later date. I don't think that should affect how it looks when just the deformer moves in and out. The weird thing about Live2D is you would never believe how much time is spent just on the face, and that's where all the better detailing has to be done, and it sucks because there is so much value and purpose in a full body model. Like, I just think that is an important thing to practice, but there always does have to be upper body emphasis because that's the part that's going to be seen most commonly. And it's really hard to price between a half body, headshot, and full body model, because the majority of the work is in the head, so honestly, the price difference is it's not gonna be that grand, but that also sucks because like someone could really want a wide range of motion in the body and it'll cost only a couple hundred more than just a headshot. I don't know. Okay, let me see how this bad boy closes now. Just the same, perfect. Time to do stuff like teeth. I'm gonna add an extra layer of deformer dots there. I don't think the tongue really needs 3 layers of deformer dots, but I just want to be safe. It's the outer tongue that really needs more deformer dots. That when you can make the tongue stick out, it will matter that there are at least a considerable amount of deformer dots. But I don't know, something about a texture of this size only having 1 inner ring of dots just doesn't sit right with me. That's fine. Bottom teeth. Okay. What is up with the generation on this thing? This is also a mostly unnecessary... What is this blue dot over here all about? Yeah, that's what I thought. What was I saying? I don't remember. And it wasn't important either. I was kind of just yapping into thin air. The issue with the clipping mask is I can't see what I'm doing right now. It would be unlazy of me to, if I were to, you know, put a little bit of effort and just check what it would look like without the clipping, but right now, I don't care. I'll check it out later. Goodness gracious. I need to just... Used to be so much easier. I don't know what update did this, but it used to be so much easier to slide for better numbers. Now I gotta individually punch in numbers. They're making me do work on my model. Why are they making me do work on my work? I'm not sure if this is gonna be enough deformer dots, honestly. I don't know if I know I should be doing it by hand, but it's kind of hard to see where all of the transparent colors are. I should probably just do it by hand. I'm gonna try. You know what? It's not even about being lazy right now. It's just I'm gonna try to do something that is challenging. And if it doesn't work out for me, that's okay. That's okay. It'll be okay. Hello, how are you doing? I am doing okay. Thank you so much for showing up, Train. I'm doing okay. How are you? I'm gonna call... It's okay, I'm calling you Train. You got a whole long username up there. Which I totally appreciate as a fellow train enjoyer, but I know nothing about trains. I just kind of like being on them. They feel nice. It's a fun form of transportation. But unfortunately, I don't know nearly as much about trains as I would like to. But welcome, and thank you so much for stopping by, Train. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. I am not malding over Live2D right now. I will not be caught malding today. No, sir. No. Doing good. Laying down in bed with your cats. Jealous! I miss my cats. I miss my cats so much. I'm so glad you are with your cats. Oh, I miss my little babies. I've been thinking about my babies so much lately. I just need to be with my cats. I think that would fix me and make everything better, and I wouldn't be sad anymore if my cats were here. I miss my babies. There's a fat cat I pass by sometimes who just waits in the window of someone's home, someone's humble abode that is on my way to school, and the cat sometimes sits in the window in the morning, and it's so fat. I've been calling it Rotund Boy. I don't know if it's a boy or not, but I call it Rotund Boy just as a general term. And I might need to expand this range up here. Up here. Tool details. Hey, no, hey. And I know it's mean because I'm body shaming the cat, but genuinely I'm like, it makes me miss my rotund girl. I miss my rotund girl. She is so round and so fluffy, and I miss my fat baby girl. Been here before. I know you've been here before. I remember you. I remember your very long username. Let me say it all at once. Albino, Tailgater, and CSX Train. There we go. I said it. I've been scared of mispronouncing one of those words. Mainly just CSX, because I need to know what that stands for. Tell me what it stands for. I miss my cats so much. My cats would fix everything. Something smells like fast food right now, which is making me miss fast food, which is really not helping the homesickness. Like, I'm not homesick in the way that I want to go home, because I really don't. I just really, like, it really wasn't my time to be here, and now there's all these little things. And this is the one thing that I was warned about that I really didn't understand at the time. People were like, you're gonna miss all your American food, you're gonna miss, you're gonna have, like, snacks that you can't find in Ireland that you're going to miss. Oh my god, it really, I need to find which of my sweet mates just came home with fast food and beg them for it. Oh my god. Because it doesn't even, it's like, the thing is I just don't get fast food in Ireland. It's not that I don't have what I want here, it's that it's just not a part of my lifestyle right now. As an international student, I'm not out here trying to get fast food. It's just not what I'm here for. So that's what I'm like, I miss fast food so much. And it's also on being vegetarian. I really want to try the chicken here. I really miss chicken so bad. I need to check if they have, like, veggie chicken nuggets that I can make in the microwave, though, because first of all, I am not figuring out how to use the stove in this apartment. I just am simply, I don't have the time or energy to figure out how to use the stove here. I know how to use the stove at home, and that's good enough. But I just haven't even had, like, veggie nuggets on my mind, because I miss chicken, and all the time I'm like, I could just have a little nibble, I could just get one, I could just get some chicken nuggets. But I haven't even thought of, what I really miss is veggie nuggets, because I don't have the incentive to get them here. I just can't stand, I really can't stand that I share a kitchen. And I'll gladly do it because I'm so just unbelievably fortunate for the resources I have here. The fact that my housing, I'm so lucky to have housing provided for me. Granted, I will be paying for it for quite literally the rest of my entire fucking life. So, like, this is no cheap expenditure. But, like, one thing that is really hard for me about living abroad is just, like, I have to make sacrifices of my own comfort, and that is something I'll gladly do for this amazing, amazing experience, but one thing that I'm, like, harshly sacrificing that I will not budge on is that I'm not sharing a fridge. I do use it every once in a while to store alcohol temporarily, because, and say it with me now, I'm an alcoholic in Ireland. But and this is the worst part because I'm a milk absolute fiend. Like, you do not understand the levels of fiendage I have for milk. I love milk. Drink it day and night when I'm back home because I'm not putting it in the fridge. I'm not putting it in the fridge. I'm just not. The fridge is so disgusting. I have been doing a lot of the cleaning, which I'm totally fine with. I prefer the way I clean, so I'll gladly do it. Even though it's, like, I feel grossed out by cleaning just as much as the next guy. And trust me, the state of our shared kitchen is actually genuinely abysmal. I have no idea how just 7 people create all of that mess. But I've given up milk, which is that's, like, something I'm genuinely just, like, I don't drink milk here because I cannot bear to put it in that fridge. Life sucks. My life sucks. I'm in Ireland. I'm kidding. I'm not trying to be a bitch. It's been really strange because culture shock didn't really hit me as hard as everyone said it would. But honestly, like, the biggest thing is just certain snacks that I can't get here. Like, they just got Cheez-It Snapped a couple months ago, but they don't have normal Cheez-Its. And I don't like Cheez-It Snapped, but normal Cheez-Its are my favorite snack ever. And I can't find most of the, like, terribly unhealthy American snacks that I like. I haven't really found any snacks that I like here in general, besides, like, chips. And I don't want to be snacking on chips every day. That's just not, you know? So the main thing that I'm having a hard time with is, like, finding groceries that I will eat. And I'm really, really picky. Like, it's very genuinely difficult to feed me. Because I'm so picky and very sensitive about what I eat and when I eat it. So, that's really the only thing I could say that has been hard about adjusting to Ireland. But I make do. I make do just fine.
Chessie Seaboard X. That's what CXS stands for. Thank you.
I'll have to look up what that means. I have no idea. Okay, next. And these ones I can't do a whole lot of texture editing on because they have shadows involved. Well, I guess I could hand do the shadows and stuff because this is another thing where it's like, let me quickly save before I lose all of that in mold even harder than I did before. Yeah, I'm gonna save the hair for later once again. Is that your new model you're making? It's not for me. It is a new model. I don't know what the purpose will be yet. I mean, its technical purpose is for me to practice, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it after. This is just for me to practice my Live2D skills. Be that for my own future models, or, I mean, like, ideally to sell Live2D. This is a very special skill to me, and I would love to be able to share it. But my skills are not up to standard right now, just like objectively, not in a self-deprecating way, which is why I am here to practice it. I'm not gonna mess around with the shines too much. That's just not necessary. The rings. Huh. Yeah, I guess I could do this by hand. I probably should do it by hand. But I won't need to go too crazy. Yeah, I will not be using this to stream. I designed it a long time ago without the intention of using it to stream. I just, like, had it in my mind, and I was like... Because character design is one of my favorite forms of art. And I was like, the specific purpose of a character design like this, it would just fit best as a VTuber. And I never ended up creating it as a VTuber. I never ended up, like, making it a model and rigging it and all that. And the thing is, I don't have any purpose for it. As much as I would love to sell it as an adoptable, I don't know if I can do that. Logistically or emotionally. I mean, the emotions of it really don't matter, because if I could sell this bad boy and see someone love it and bring it to life, that would be amazing. But I never really had any reason to make it, and right now its purpose, the purpose that it serves is education and practice. I don't know what I'll do. He was designed 3-ish years ago. I never worked on him though, and then last year I was like, all right, it's time to get off my ass and actually work on my art like a real human. Granted, I am a cat boy, of course, not a real human. Well, I mean, I feel like a real human. I like to think I'm a human, even if I'm not in species. I want to be a human. So bad. But that's besides the point. But I was like, alright, get off your ass, it's time to actually improve your art. So I figured, what better design to use than the one that I thought was appropriate for Live2D? And now I've really got my work cut out for me. Would say I bit off more than I can chew, but I have to be strong. I'm gonna work really hard. Gonna go play NASCAR game. Have a great day and sorry for not staying longer. And never apologize for that. No worries. My purpose here is to be a place where those can come and go and have fun and leave when they want. That is exactly what I strive to be. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope I get to see you again in the future. Ah, it looks like there is an issue with this hat texture. I've noticed a couple textures with issues on them. You know, I'm gonna open my notes app and note them down. I've noticed a couple problem textures, but I think I did also see these last time when I initially generated all of the dots, stuff that I wanted to fix. But for some reason, when I actually went into Krita to try and fix them, it didn't appear to be anything wrong, but I might have just put them in incorrectly when I went to fix it. So hold on, allow me to open my notes folder. Important. I'm just gonna put this in my general. Yar. Okay. Okay, what else is... Okay, the sleeve, jacket, sleeve, cuff also had an issue. That's the one I remember trying to fix. I went into Krita to try and fix a little bit of blue drawing that went outside the lines of the jacket sleeve cuff. but for some reason it wasn't an issue in Krita. So I might just have to try re-uploading the art, but I don't know. I keep putting stuff in wrong. Like, what is going on with that? Hate to see it. I really do hate to see it. I wonder, I'm not sure if I want to, like, I might give this one more inner, well, do I have to, though? I can't figure out. I wish I could make the eraser smaller, because this is super unhelpful in size. Yeah, I'm gonna give this some more internal, I'm gonna give it 2 internal layers. I have no idea if that'll be necessary, but I do think it would be, I think it's a good idea. There are also a couple parts where I haven't figured stuff out. Like the shadows that the bangs cast on the face, I need to figure out how to make them transparent without making the transparency overlap. I can't illustrate what I mean, but I'll try and show it in a later date when I'm actively working with fixing them. But there's a bit of a conflict with the shadows the bangs cast on the face, which has been a thorn in my side ever since drawing this model. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure that out eventually before I can really get into the imagery, which sucks. But I did talk to my instructor about it, and I was like, is there anything that can be done, because this is really annoying me. And they were like, I don't know, champ. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. Let's go auto connect. Okay. Allow me to open chat back up. I closed my chat when I went to go in my notes app.
Before I go, thank you for making amazing streams.
Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you. I try very, very hard to keep my streams just a pleasant space to stick around, even if there's not much going on, even if you can't stay long. I try to keep my stuff, you know, around. I try to keep myself around. I try to keep it pleasant. Okay. Let me see. I'm just gonna. This is the last texture that I'm really gonna focus on, because I'm not. No way in hell am I doing the hair right now. I'm not right now. Not today. I'll set up another stream for that. Look at the toggles. I'm not gonna do the toggle animations just yet. You know what though? I can just very briefly give Jump a good old upward trajectory. There's other parts of that animation. That's not all that a jump consists of, but I might want to make it go a little higher, and I'll see if it looks too high when I actually animate the jump. Maybe just a little lower. Little lower. Is that? Maybe just a little higher. I feel like that's valid. 50-minute treasure hunt? No, thank you. I don't need to do that. By the way, it was 15, 1-5, not 5-0. Thank you very much.
Actually, I was hammered out of my mind, so I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I'm pretty sure it was just like 15 minutes of me malding. Halfway through, my friend who was watching called me to make sure I was okay because I was like almost in tears, which I was fine. I was being dramatic. Yeah, I think in terms of... I don't think I'm gonna do any animations for today. I think in order to protect my mental health, I'm gonna call it here. And I did clean up some stuff that I was being too lazy to clean up before, and I will do the hair on another stream. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you so much to everyone who joined me today. It was much appreciated, and I do hope I get to see you again soon. Bye bye. Hold on, stream it.